Hi, I'm Rebecca Slough with Organizational Learning and Talent Development. Do you ever feel like the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland and always saying, I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye, I'm late. Well, if so, you're not alone. You know, we're all given the same 24 hours each and every day, and it's what we do with it that can help determine our successes, our failures, and even our own commitment that we have within life. You know, life is not about getting more time, it's actually about practicing how we use the time and manage it to the most effective way. So let's say that this glass vase here actually represents you. And as you know, we're all given 24 hours a day to see what we can get done within that amount of time. So these ping pong balls, which I've already filled up in the vase, are actually representing things that we do each and every day at work. We might have things like, emails and phone calls, distractions, drop-in visitors. We work on big projects, small projects, meetings, clients, customers, searching for stuff, even focusing on things on our to-do list. And there's so much more that goes into this jar each and every day. So I'm going to ask yourself, is your day full? No, it's not. In fact, now these marbles are going to actually represent a lot of the stuff that we do each and every day outside of work. I mean, take for example, we have to deal with cooking dinner and we have to clean the house and we've got to take our kids to and from sports and helping with homework. We might have church things to do or working with our volunteer groups that we like to work with. Watching TV, exercising, reading to spending some time for ourselves, playing with our pets, you know what? And there's a whole bunch more that we do outside of work. So now I'm asking you, is your 24-hour day full? No, in fact, it's not. In fact, there's one last thing that we get to do each and every day, and in fact, some of us actually get a little bit more of it than others, and that's sleep. So we're gonna now fill up our day here with what time we have left for sleep. And as you can see, we pack ourselves a lot of times right to the top of our day. Sometimes it's even overflowing here. So one of the important things that we sometimes need to do is take a step back and evaluate how are we using our time so that we can actually use our time that we are given a little bit more effectively. In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that's written by renowned leadership author Stephen Covey, he explains his Covey's time management matrix. Covey has 4 quadrants for time management that can help to provide an effective method for organizing our priorities. In his model, he can help us to categorize our tasks, our responsibilities, as well as our even aspects of life that we have that can help us both improve both personally and professionally. He categorizes things in 2 ways, the first being urgency and the second being importance. So let's take a look at both of those. In urgency, he says, we want to focus on the tasks and responsibilities that are going to require immediate action or even attention. And the importance side of things is going to be focusing on the high significance that are related to our values or even our goals that we might have. So just like in the demonstration that I showed you a moment ago, Covey actually demonstrates how we need to sometimes take a step back and look at how we use our time. Very often if we could commit to specific times of our day to the important types of things, we might be able to find more time that we can focus on the least important things. So let's take a look at Covey's time management matrix. In Quadrant 1, this is where he refers to things that are both urgent and important. This may be things like crises, pressing problems, or even deadline-driven projects. Items in this area are a necessity or they must get done. However, focusing so much on this quadrant can be even stressful, cause burnout, become crisis management, or be a constant focus on putting out fires. So the greatest need for us in this quadrant is to truly manage how much time you spend in it. In Quadrant 2, this is where he focuses things that are not urgent, but may be important. This may consist of relationship building, finding new opportunities, long-term planning, preventative activities, personal growth, as well as fulfilling recreation. Focusing on things in this quadrant can create vision and even perspective for us, and there's a lot more balance and disciplined feel here. People who spend more time here actually feel more in control, and there are fewer crises that actually arise. Covey suggests that we strive to spend more time in Quadrant 2 to allow for a greater focus and better control of our time. And quadrant 3 are the things that we see that might be as urgent, but they're not as important. These types of tasks may be interruptions, emails, calls, meetings, popular activities, immediate or even pressing matters. In this quadrant, we must use caution as it can cause a short-term crisis management focus, which could also affect our reputation. Also in this quadrant, things may feel like they get out of control. Lastly, in quadrant 4, this is where things are not urgent and they're not important. Tasks in this area might be busy work, time wasters, some calls or emails, or even pleasant activities like spending time on social media. For people who spend the majority of their time here, the results might not be pleasant. They are not dealing with the important things, which give them the reputation of being irresponsible and could even lead to them losing their jobs or even other responsibilities. People who spend most of their time here become more dependent on others to completing important and even required tasks. You know, research shows that 20% of the average workday is actually spent on crucial and important things, where 80% of our average workday is actually spent on things that have little or no value. So we have to ask ourselves, how can we better prioritize our time? And there's 3 easy steps that you can do for that. First, you want to create a list of all the things that you currently work on or that you do on a regular basis. Second, I encourage you to review Covey's time management matrix and actually evaluate where each of these items fit within the respective Covey's quadrants. I've actually provided a copy of Covey's time management matrix for you in the description below. Lastly, once you have all of these things put in the appropriate quadrants, you can actually begin to focus on putting more energy into the things in quadrant 2 and make a conscious decision to not let the other 3 quadrants actually take over all of your time. You know, speaking of time, another great hint that you can do is to match your key important things that you have to do each and every day to the time of day where you have the most energy. As Stephen Covey has said, the challenge is not to manage the time, but to managing ourselves. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. I hope I have provided you with a great amount of information, and again, Covey's time management matrix is in the description below.